my pleasure to introduce you to Mayor Dellums.
Thank you. First, before I begin, I would like to introduce three young people from Laney College who are members of the Black Student Union. That takes me way back. Who are the Coalition for Justice for Oscar Grant. Welcome.
How y'all doing? My name is Shaw. I'm currently the president of the Black Student Union in Laney. We understand that with our protesting, it did make some things happen. We got the chief of police forced to resign. We got the chief of BART to resign. So we have had some small victories in it, and we do believe the protest worked. But we believe that this was suicide, was to run out against those tanks, and we believe that it's stupid to burn up our own community.
And with that also, man, we just want to make sure that y'all understand that we're looking for justice for everybody. A lot of people, even on this stage, are asking us to be peaceful in our protests, to please separate property damage from violence. You understand what I'm saying? Because we can have peace without our children being slaughtered, and that's what we asking for. So union leaders, y'all want to support our youth like you say you do. On that day, stand out there with them and stand next to them so that when something happens and anybody gets called in, they see community members and business leaders standing next to our children before they start shooting the tear gas at them.
And, my name is Javon. I'm also from Laney College. A lot has been said about the youth and asking us to be peaceful in the aftermath of the Mehserle verdict. But I want to make an appeal to the police. They're also a part of this equation, and they're asking for peace from us, but we're asking for the same thing. People are going to be out in the streets because people feel passionate about this issue, and I condone that. People have a right to assemble. But just keep in mind, I want to make an appeal to the police that what you guys do on that day is going to matter. And your actions can be interpreted in ways that can provoke our young people. So be mindful of that.
First, I'd like to thank Ms. Simmons for opening Youth Uprising for this event. We deeply appreciate it. You folks stepped up in an extraordinary way. Secondly, I would like to thank each and every person that has spoken at this point. Your words are eloquent, and the ideas that are expressed by those words are very powerful and very important. Thirdly, I'm very honored and very pleased to stand here with representatives of community in this moment. The message simply is threefold. One of unity, one of peace, and one of justice. First, to the issue of unity. We stand together as one community here. This community is grieving. This community feels pain. This community feels passion. And we come together as one community in solidarity with those feelings, in solidarity with the family that has shared a loss beyond our comprehension. We come together as community to express those very same feelings because community has felt extraordinary loss. We come together with you, young people, because we know in many ways, many of you are saying, there but for the grace of God go I. And so I understand the pain, I understand the anguish, and I understand the passion. So we come together in that spirit of unity as one community. Secondly, we come together in a call for peace. And our hope here is very, very simple. And that is that we combine with our anguish, with our pain, even our anger and our passion, with respect and compassion. Respect for the life of this young man, Oscar Grant, who lost his life way too soon. He should have been able to live a long and productive life. We come together with the family as well, in the very same spirit of that. We also ask that you combine the passion, even the anger, with respect and with compassion. mindful of the words of the late Dr. Martin Luther King, who made a very simple yet extraordinarily eloquent statement. When he said that nonviolence is not simply a tactic for change, it is an alternative way to live. Very powerful, very simple, but an extraordinary statement. So our hope is that we will come together in that spirit. We'll come together in that spirit of peace, in that spirit of respect for this life, respect for the family, respect for community. Thirdly, we come together in a call for justice. And I'm one person who politics was molded in the 60s when we heard a brilliant, prophetic African-American man say, peace is more than simply the absence of war, it is the presence of justice. Again, a very powerful and extraordinary statement. So in seeking peace, we also seek justice. And in that regard, our effort here is to take the anger, take the pain, take the passion, and harness it into constructive change. We came from a generation that had the audacity to think we could change the world. And we took that anger, we took that pain, and we attempted to bring change. In that regard, I am reminded, in this situation, in the aftermath of this tragic death, many people in this community, some on this stage, took it upon themselves to engage with Bay Area Rapid Transit around immediate, near, and long-term changes with the goal of saying we must do whatever is necessary to try as diligently as possible to make sure that this never, ever happens again. So people took that energy and dealt with constructive change, and both sides, even in that dynamic, sometimes cantankerous, sometimes animated exchange, brought about the necessary change. So we need to embrace that aspect of it. Secondly, the journey to justice does not necessarily have to end here. Irrespective of how the verdict comes out. And I think at the end of the day, the family certainly have the right and the prerogative to make that initial decision in consultation with their attorneys based on how they respond to what unfolds in Los Angeles over the next several days. There are other paths to justice. Remember, a short while back, when the courts responded and family thought that justice had not been served, they went beyond that. They sought civil remedies, civil rights and civil liberties remedies. So the journey to justice does not have to end here. And what I would like to say to the family, because justice often is in the eye of the beholder, that if in that instance the family truly believes that justice has not been served, I, for one, and I'm sure that would be joined by others, would be willing to say to the family, we will join you in that next step to justice. And whatever I can do, and I'm sure others would join with us, with the family, in seeking the next level of justice. So it doesn't have to end here. It's important that we make that statement. Two other comments before I close. I think it's important to respond to the powerful statements that my three young brothers made. I want you to know this. Our starting point here, because this is not Mississippi in the 1950s. This has to be Oakland 2010. So our starting point has to be a progressive starting point. Our starting point here is this is a democracy, and that people have the legitimate right to assemble. They have the legitimate right to protest. They have a legitimate right to express their First Amendment rights. No one can take that away from people. And so our starting point here, and what we've said in working with our police department and others, that's our point, is to facilitate that ability of this community to express itself. I want you to know that. And I stand firmly in that regard. The second starting point is that we need to respond with restraint, with dignity, and with respect. And that has been the